everybody, I'm Anthony from CancerMoonsTarot, and welcome to a basic introduction to reading tarot. Now, for those of you that are new here and you're just interested in getting tarot, or for those of you that are actively learning, or for those of you that are just plain curious, welcome on in, everybody. I'm going to try to be as in-depth and as simplistic as I can for this video. One of the things that I do want to mention in regards to this video is that I'm not going to be doing a in-depth detail of what every single tarot card means, but instead, I'm going to give you guys some general advice that could help you for those of you that are learning tarot or that are interested in it. Now, the reason why I'm not going to go through every single tarot card to give you guys every general meaning is because not every tarot card has to be the assigned meaning that people have given it. Now, don't get me wrong, with certain tarot cards, there can be a lot of general meanings that a lot of people use. For example, we have here the Queen of Swords. Most people could say that the Queen of Swords is someone here who is cutting out an individual or is cutting out a situation. This could be about somebody who's being brutally honest, sometimes a little too honest, and they can come off in a harsh manner. It could mean these things in a general way, but also tarot is really about what the card means to you in the moment that the reader is reading it. Granted, a lot of people have a tendency, especially people who are new into tarot, have a tendency to get stuck on what this card has to mean. Don't think of tarot as this card has to mean this or this card has to mean that. Instead, think of tarot as in, what does this card mean to me right now? What does this card feel like it means to me in this spread that I pulled? I think it's very important to realize that your intuition is always going to work far better than trying to decipher what a general card meaning necessarily means. And to be completely honest too, for some tarot readers, one card may mean one thing to them, and for another tarot reader, that card can mean a completely different thing. So in general, it's really important to let everybody know who's interested in tarot. Sure, you can learn the general card meanings. I'm not going to say they're not handy. They totally are, but it's not necessarily a necessity. Don't try to always spend your time, reading cards based upon the way they're supposed to be read. You as a reader, basically allow yourself to feel what that card means to you in that moment you're reading it. As you being the reader, you're the person reading the energy. And when you start to let yourself channel and say the first thing that comes to mind or say what it is you actually feel while reading those tarot cards, that's you reading from your intuition. That's you channeling the message. So for anybody who's new to tarot, I definitely urge you can look at general meanings, you can learn general meanings, but don't always think that they have to apply to every single spread you pull, every single reading that you do. It's very important to let yourself always say the first thing that comes to mind or what it is you're actually feeling when doing a tarot card reading for somebody else or even doing a tarot card reading for yourself. So let's go ahead and get into tarot a little bit. First things first, with all the tarot decks that you guys buy, they're going to be specific ones. There's many different decks that are on the market. The tarot deck that we have here is called the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot. It is a very, very wonderful tarot deck. With every tarot deck that people tend to buy, there usually will be a little booklet. Well, this is a big booklet, but there will be a booklet that comes with it, which actually helps express the meanings. For example, we have here the Ace of Cups, and then it gives you a detailed meaning of what the Ace of Cups means. Now, keep in mind, the meaning of the Ace of Cups, as I mentioned previously, can mean anything to any tarot reader, but for the illustrator of this book and of this deck, they put what it means for them inside of this book. Now, when I first started reading tarot personally, I used to read out of the book all the time. That is how I got my meanings of the cards. That is how I got my understandings of the cards. So you could actually use this as a tool and as a guide. The book is a lot more underrated than people actually give it credit for. So if you want to learn or get a good sense or a basic description to what certain tarot cards mean, take a look at the booklet that comes with your tarot deck. Skim through it. Take a look at the cards that they have inside the book and take a look at that description and see if what they're saying resonates with you. Because believe it or not, it's pretty underrated. Now, moving on to the actual tarot cards. A lot of people, I feel, get really hung up on, well, how do I shuffle tarot cards? How do I distribute them? What kind of spread do I have to do? For a lot of people, the traditional way of doing a tarot card reading is to shuffle the cards and then do a Celtic cross tarot spread. Now, if you don't know what a Celtic cross is, you can easily look that up right now on YouTube, but it's not something that's needed. I actually really advocate everybody to come up with a spread that works for them. Now, before we get into the different ways and methods of shuffling, I want to talk to you guys about just a tarot spread in general. For example, you can come up with a very simple spread like this. You will shuffle your cards, and once your cards are shuffled, you will get to the bottom of the deck. Let's say the bottom of the deck is the overall energy of this reading. Okay, that first card at the bottom will be the overall energy of this reading. Let's say from the top of the deck, the first card here will be how the person feels. The second card will be where the situation is going to go. And then the outcome will be the outcome of the entire situation, right? That is a very simple, easy go-to spread that you can do and come up with in a matter of seconds. So, going back to that spread, the bottom of the deck is the overall energy. The first card is how the person's feeling. The second card from the top is where the situation's going. And the last card from the top is going to be the outcome of the entire situation. That right there can be an easy spread to start an easy tarot reading. Now, if you want more information of the reading, you're more than welcome to say, okay, let's look at the position here of where things are going. The position of where things are going is the Knight of Pentacles. I want more clarity on that card. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. Go ahead and shuffle. Clarifying the Knight of Pentacles, we have here, excuse me about that, but we have here the Justice, right? So, essentially, you can get more clarity to what the card means. So when it comes to doing tarot spreads, guys, sometimes less is more. It doesn't have to be the most complex thing ever, it doesn't have to be the most intense thing ever, and it certainly doesn't have to be that traditional Celtic cross. Your tarot spread can be anything you're comfortable with. Some people are comfortable with doing past, present, and future readings, which is actually probably one of the easiest tarot spreads you could do. The first card is the past, the middle card is the present, the last card is the future, right? You could do something as simple as that as well. Overall though, everybody, however you decide to create your spread of how you would like to read these cards in whatever kind of order is completely up to you. Tarot is so customizable, and I urge you guys to figure out your style and what you feel really comfortable with. Now let's go ahead and get on into the methods of shuffling. I do see a lot of people who are starting out tarot in the beginning who get really caught up on what is the right way to shuffle, how do you even shuffle? I know I was one of those people. I remember when I first started reading tarot, my overhand shuffles looked like this. Okay? It did not look cute. But with that all being said, I'm going to teach you guys a couple different methods of shuffling as well to help you guys with this basic introduction to tarot. So first things first, the easiest shuffle anybody can learn is the overhand shuffle, which looks like this. So give me 1 second. Here we go. This is the overhand shuffle. So when it comes towards the overhand shuffle, here's how you get yourself set up. So first things first, you want to have your 3 fingers here, which would be your middle finger, your pinky finger, your ring finger, and then you kind of have your index finger laying up against the cards. This is for extra support, and you're going to keep your thumb on the back of the deck, okay? So we have your 3 fingers here, we have your index finger, and then your thumb that's relaxing on the back. Now with one hand, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, if you're right-handed, you want to be holding the deck, or if you're left-handed, excuse me, you want to hold your deck in the right. If you're right-handed, you want to hold the tarot deck in the left. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your other free hand, and you're going to take your index finger, you're going to take your middle finger and your ring finger, and your ring finger and middle finger will go right about maybe not even halfway into the deck. You just want to go ahead and grab a chunk, right? And then your thumb is going to be on the back of this as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick it up like this. So you're basically picking up piles and you're placing piles down, letting out a little bit of card in between. So you're going to let out a little bit of cards in between each shuffle. Now what you can see is as I'm giving this shuffle around, I'm taking my thumb over here and I'm swiping it down. You see what I'm saying? So the more that you guys get fluent in this motion, the more easier to overhand shuffle it's going to become. So give yourself lots and lots of practice. Guys, when it comes towards shuffling, practice is something you can't go wrong with. It has taken me so much time to learn. I've had so much practice to learn, and I'm still not the most perfect shuffler out there, but if you want to know one of the simplistic shuffles, that would be the overhand shuffle that I just taught you guys. I won't lie, I'm probably not the most amazing teacher. I probably didn't show the overhand shuffle as best as I could have, but if you guys are interested in learning the shuffle, the name is called the overhand shuffle. You can type it in on YouTube, and you guys can go ahead and get a full tutorial on how to properly do it if I wasn't clear enough, okay? Now the next type of shuffle that you guys can do is you can do a riffle shuffle, where essentially you're going to split the deck in half over here, and as you split it in half, you're going to have your thumb resting on one half, your thumb resting on the other, and you're going to get curvature. What you want is you want your thumbs to start bending the cardstock here, okay? Then you're going to take here your index fingers and you're going to place them downwards, kind of like this, okay? You want it to be placed down to add pressure to the cards, and then you're going to just let your thumbs over here easily let the cards go. you're gonna let them riffle, okay, through your thumbs. So it's just about releasing. You're adding pressure here with your index fingers, and then you're using your thumbs to release the cards and to let them go. So you could do riffle shuffles. Everybody's more than welcome to do that. If you're not interested in doing the overhand, you could do the riffle, or if you want to do both the shuffles combined, you're free to do that as well. Now, if you want to get technical and tricky with it, you could do a riffle shuffle, and once you get here, you can cross your thumbs, and you can take all the rest of your fingers and turn it, and then you can do a bridge shuffle. Now, if you want to get fancy and do a bridge shuffle like I do, feel free to look up a tutorial on that as well. A bridge is a little too hard for me to probably explain, but in due time, the more you practice, the more you learn. So at the end of the day, guys, my main point of making this basic introduction to tarot was to show people that it's not as complex as a lot of people feel that it is. I think that a lot of people really place a lot of pressure on learning what every single card means, because that card has to mean this. It doesn't. Every tarot card, or any tarot card in general, means whatever it means to the reader when they're reading it. When it comes towards what type of spread you do, sometimes you may feel pressured to do the traditional Celtic cross, or to have to do a spread a certain way. You can do whatever spread you like. You could do past, present, future. You could do Celtic cross if you're interested. You can create your own spread. Whatever you want to do and how you want to read the tarot cards is entirely up to you. And lastly, one of the biggest things a lot of people put pressure on is when it comes towards shuffling. Usually people who are new to tarot get very anxious when it comes towards shuffling. They're not sure if they're doing it correctly or what way to do it. And at the end of the day, guys, you can shuffle whatever way you like, whatever way works for you. Whatever you feel resonance with, do it. I think that the biggest reason I wanted to make this video is that not only is it a basic introduction, a very basic one, but it gives you the opportunity to recognize that tarot is not one of these things. It's not one of these crafts that has to be done a certain way. It's one that has so much leeway and so much freedom. It's a craft that is entirely based upon your own intuition and your own feelings and your own guidance and your own styles. And I think that by mentioning that, you get to get really creative with it. And if you allow your creativity to really run through the cards and run through what you're doing, you're gonna have such a fantastic time. So with that all being said, guys, that was my basic introduction to tarot. Pretty short, sweet, hopefully to the point for many of you. And I do know that people will be interested in learning what every single card means, but guys, in due time, you'll learn that. My best piece of advice I could give to people when it comes towards doing tarot and learning how to master the craft is do as many readings as you can. Do readings for your friends and for your family. Do readings on yourself every once in a while. The more readings that you do is the more you get to practice with reading the tarot, understanding the tarot, getting comfortable with your spread, getting comfortable with your shuffles. The more that you keep on doing this, guys, the more practice that you have, the more fluent it's going to become for you. So with that all being said, guys, go ahead and practice, have fun with it, get creative, adapt to your styles, and, don't feel too much judgment on you. Get creative with it. Do you. Not everything has to be a certain type of way when it comes towards this craft. You can make this craft really whatever it is that you want. Alright? Alright, everybody. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. If this was a good video, definitely be sure to leave a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions or if you have anything that you'd like to say. And lastly, if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. I would appreciate that so much. Alright? Alright, guys. Take care. Have yourselves a good one. And I will see you guys later. Peace.